Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday morning Sunday school devotion right here at St. John United Church of Christ. I'm Pastor Jana Myers, and I am so curious this morning to know what you think about our lesson. You'll find it by using the QR code or the link that's right on the bottom of your screen. You can copy and paste that link into your browser or use the QR code to take you directly over to the UCC Still Speaking Writers Group Daily Devotion webpage, where you'll find this lesson that we'll be talking about today from Kenneth Samuel, What Shall I Render? It's a lesson all about reflection on how we offer and serve in God's economy. So use that link to get on over if you'd like to read along, or you can always go directly to the UCC Daily Devotion webpage and search for it by our author's name, Reverend Samuel, or you can search by its title, What Shall I Render? Reverend Samuel uses Psalm 116, verse 12 as our focus verse this morning. What shall I render unto the Lord for all his benefits towards me? He writes, it's estimated that approximately 1/3 of the U.S. population, or some 64 million Americans, volunteer each year. That equates to $139 billion worth of time annually. I think he means $139 billion worth of time annually. Most charitable nonprofit organizations, including churches, could not function without the dedicated volunteer hours and financial contributions of persons who believe in their cause and willingly invest time and resources for their support. But what about the approximately 2/3 of us who don't volunteer to support any effort or cause outside the immediacy of our own comfort and convenience? And what about the approximate 30% of church volunteers in most churches who are often called up to do 100% of the work? According to Jesus, what we receive in life is in direct proportion to what we give back. Give, and it shall be given unto you, says Luke 6:38. Jesus went on to say that to whom much is given, much will be required. In God's economy, our own desire for increase is connected to our willingness to give back. God doesn't just send us blessings, God sends blessings through us. We are not reservoirs for self-aggrandizement. We are conduits of amazing grace. Wisdom tells us that service to others is the rent we pay for being on the planet. May the 70% of us who never ask the question, what shall I render, bring our rent payment out of delinquency. And when some new volunteers show up, may they not be discouraged by the insecurities and turf wars that sometimes derail the enthusiasm of those willing to give freely of themselves in the service of others. I wonder what percentage you're in. When was the last time you volunteered? Anywhere or anything? Did you stop by and do something for someone else? Did you work at a fun run or a charity event? Did you come and serve at Third Thursday, usher at church, or offer an offering? Did you help your grandkids' soccer league? Or was it too much effort, too much time, too much trouble? Didn't fit with the schedule. The tricky part about this question is being honest with ourselves about what we're willing to give and what we're going to hoard. Being a faithful Christian is not easy. It never has been, and it's not particularly easy right now in our country. as much as we might find it to be the case that much of what we do in America is based on a Christian tradition. That's different than being faithful Christian. Because much of what we talk about at church is a countercultural movement. Loving everybody just because they are who they are. No conditions, no strings, no membership required. Giving of ourselves because we want to help somebody else, not to get ahead, not to get credit, not to get noticed, not to get likes or views on social media, just because we want to help. Giving of our time and resources, making ourselves uncomfortable because it makes somebody else healthier or happier. Choosing instead the slow boat and our shipments coming in not so fast. Instead of 2-day shipping, have it come packaged with other things. The desire to consume and consume quickly is the popular watchword of our culture. And our Christian faith, it wants us to slow down and give up a lot of stuff. And this question about when we volunteered and what we volunteered and how often we volunteered goes right back to the heart of how we understand our role in that countercultural movement. Because you see, the walk of faith is inconvenient, expensive, heavy, and hard. And who wants to sign up for that? Who wants to sign up for all the work when you could just come and have all the fun? The only way it makes sense is when you realize, just as our author said, God's economy is that our own desires for increase and consumption is connected to our willingness to give back. The more we give away, the more we have and receive. It doesn't make any sense. Math doesn't work that way. The more I subtract, the less I have. But that's when we work with human economy. But when we work with God, it's very, very different. The more we give away, the more we have. The more hours I give away working with Luke's Cub Scout, the more joy I have, the more friends I have, the more food in my freezer, the more pictures on my phone, the more hours I sleep, the better those hours are, the happier I am. The less I give, the more I feel that there is not enough. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough energy, not enough resources. It's a confusing reality that is ever present in our life. The more we give away, the more we give up, the more we give out, the more we are restored, refilled, renewed, connected. Because we realize that we aren't the center of the world, but instead we are a thing, a conduit through which the holy work. I don't know about you, but I would so much rather be a road than a dead end. A path for someone else to find hope and joy instead of a cul-de-sac upon which their expectations die. A road or a highway to grace and love as opposed to a dead end of disappointed reality. When I hold everything to myself, all I offer is disappointment. But when I freely give away and let myself be a part of God's giving economy of grace and of joy and of love, all of a sudden there is blessings upon blessings feeding down the highway of my life, and I can do nothing but give thanks. So the question is, which are you? 30% of people volunteer, 70% don't. Odds are not in our favor. Most people then would fall into that 70%. Guess what? You're here right now, which means you have connected yourself to a place to volunteer, to help you divest of your selfishness and move into that highway of. So if you haven't thought about volunteering on one of the many things that now could be a good time. And guess what? If what you want to do isn't happening, here's your invitation to make it happen, to come and volunteer yourself and your energy and your passion and watch what grows. And if you're here because you're the 30% that does show up for 100% of the things, thank you. Don't forget to make room for all of those other 70% who need to work right along. Let's have a prayer before we go. Lord, you have blessed me abundantly. Help me not just count my blessings, but to make my blessings count. Hope that you will make your blessings count and bless us with your presence right here at 10 o'clock for worship, where you can volunteer of your time, your service, your prayer, and your resources in so many ways, blessing not only yourself, but all of us. So I'll see you